I think a huge current issue in the United States right now would be that we don't have horse slaughterhouses in America. They're all in Mexico and Canada. Um, there's a lot of arguments over horse slaughterhouses and stuff like that. You know, a ton of people say that it's inhumane and this, that, and the other. When you got to think of it as horses, they're not pets; they're livestock. Um, like horses, they're just like cows. I mean, we have cow slaughter plants here in America. Um, shoot, a ton of Americans eat. You know, they eat beef. That's what we do. We like to eat beef. I know I do. Um, you know, but eating horse here in America just isn't that popular. Eating horse across the world though is a huge popularity. You know, just overseas, people eat horses all the time. That's like they'd rather eat horse meat than they would rather eat beef. So opening up a horse slaughterhouse, it would help the economy out, and I mean, it would give jobs to tons of Americans out there. You know, we have people all over the U.S. that are unemployed right now. That would open up so many jobs if we did that. Um, One reason that I think that we should open up slaughterhouses in the United States is there's tons of horses out there that could go to slaughter. You know, like there is just such a wide variety of horses that America just doesn't need. You know, they're just sitting out there eating somebody's round bale. They're in my the way I would word it is they're hay burners. You know, they're doing nothing but sitting out there and wasting people money. Um, so, I mean, in that instance, I guess you could say we have uh, quantity over quality right now in the horse market. Because like with what I do, I rodeo for a living. I ride bucking horses and stuff like that, and I do a lot of roping. We run a lot of cows here where I'm from. I'm from Kansas. I'm actually here over spring break right now. I worked all day today. We drug 180 head of calves, I think, and went and doctored a bunch. You know, without horses, like what I do for a living, I wouldn't be able to do it without good horses. So, you know, like there's a lot of people. My family has always rode outside horses for people. Um, you know, people try to send you just horses that shouldn't, you know, that need to go to the killer. They might be thin and old and stuff like that. They just can't maintain themselves. That's a huge problem. Is these people want you to do this and this and this with them when the horse can't take the work. You know, them old crippled horses, they can stand out there and eat your round bale and they need all the feed in the world, but if their body's getting too old to maintain all that, then you know their body's too old to maintain it. They can't get themselves fat over it. They're just gonna sit there and get thinner and thinner and suffer. You know, or crippled horses. There's tons of horses out there that you know they might get hung up in wire. If you got multiple horses running together, one can get kicked or one can get stepped on in their leg and tear a tendon up. Then you know they're suffering after that if you cannot get rid of them. And it's really hard in America to get rid of them. Like I know kill buyers and stuff around here that you can send horses to because you can still send them to Mexico and Canada, but you can't hardly make any money at it. And you know, like I said earlier, horses are livestock, therefore we're supposed to be able to make money off of them, which it's so hard to do because there's so many of them. Like if we got rid of all the horses across America that just they're not, you know, they're not worth keeping around. They're just not very good horses. If we got rid of them, then like your really good performance horses, the price of them are going to skyrocket because there's going to be more of a demand for good horses. So that's my opinion on why we should have horse slaughterhouses in America. Now, a lot of people say that it's inhumane and stuff to have horse slaughterhouses. Then again, you got to remember they're livestock. They're not pets, okay? They're not our dog. Um, with horse slaughterhouses, like we'll be feeding people all across the world, you know, that horse meat. But you got to remember, horse meat also goes into dog food. When you go to feed your dogs, 90% of the dog feed out there in the world, you know, that's made has a little bit of horse meat in it because I mean it's just that's just how it is. I don't know why, but that's how it is. You know, the horse meat goes in dog food. Dogs eat it. You know, it's your pet. He's eating horse. But so there, you know, you got to look at it that way. Do you want to starve your dog? Probably not, because I know I don't. I like my dogs. I like them to death. Um, but they say when they get there, you know, people think when a horse goes to a slaughterhouse or a cow goes to a slaughterhouse, they're getting put in these little tight pens and stuff like that, and they're sitting there scared to death, and people are running everywhere with guns and stuff like that. That's not how it works. That's not how a kill plant works. A kill plant is, they're really one of the most quietest places that there is. Like, you would think it'd be loud, but it's not. Like Temple Grandin, she designed for like cows. She studied a ton of cows. She's a very high respected woman in the cow industry. She'd come up with a bunch of different designs on alleyways and stuff like that. Well, in a kill plant, like, it's mandatory that there's ways that you have to keep horses calm, and it's easy to do. Um, you just got all them horses are gonna do. They're gonna sit in a group. Horses are a lot calmer in a group than when you separate them off. So these horses are gonna sit in a group in a pen, and they're just gonna be eased into a smaller pen and eventually into an alleyway. Now, some people think that horses are gonna get shot with a gun or something like that, and they're not. Like, they use stun guns. It's just it's like a bolt type deal, and there's a soft spot in a horse's head that's right in the middle of their forehead. This soft spot in their head, and when that stun gun hits them, it automatically kills them. It's like boom, like that. They don't suffer from anything like that. People think, like, there's people out there that say that a horse, when they get in there, they're freaking out and they're gonna get hooks shoved into their legs, and they're gonna be lifted upside down and slit their throats. That's not how it's done. Like, the horse's throat gets slit after it's dead. The horse it's dead. It's done. There's nothing that's being, like, they're not feeling anything. It's dead. So when they got to slit a horse's throat, or even a cow, it's just how it is. They slit that throat so that way all the blood drains out. When they're hanging here, all the blood's, because of gravity, it's all got to come down to the neck, and where there's a hole it drains out, and then they're skinned and butchered and stuff like that. So in my opinion, it's not abusive to kill a horse. It's just, it ain't no different than killing a cow or a chicken or anything like that. But I mean, that's just my opinion on it all. I know that there's going to be a ton of different opinions on that, and I'm sure that a lot of you have questions or something like that over horse slaughter and stuff like that. But if any of you do, I'd be more than happy to answer any questions. And I believe that you should believe anything that you want to. Like, you should believe what you're grown up taught and stuff like that. But that's what I was that's how I was brought up, and that's just my beliefs in it all, and I hope that y'all can kind of have a little bit better understanding of how it all works, instead of just thinking that they just go there and just be tortured. So thank y'all for watching this video.